Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Love It or Shove It, where we talk about love and relationship and how do we build a better connection with ourselves and with our partners. And if this is the first time you are tuning into these episodes, welcome. And my name is Irina Portnova. I'm a manifestation star, and I teach people how do we actually consciously create the greatest relationship in our life. And I'm here with my co-host Bruno and Gail. Bruno, would you like to say a couple of words? Oh, we can't hear you. No, still no sound. Mm-mm, I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So my name is Bruno. I'm a self-love coach for women. I help women get more authentic, become more confident, become more expressive, and just really, I guess, transform them into the identity that they would love to, that they desire to have, I guess, of their dream woman. Yeah, and we develop a step-by-step plan, and we pretty much get there within the confidence, authenticity, and expression part, of course.
Beautiful. So today we are talking about that the topic that something people rarely discuss openly in the relationships, and that's how to maintain the magic. Because creating attraction is one thing, but keeping that spark alive months or years after you're already in the relationship, this is a completely different skill. So I just wanted to go over a couple of main points, and Bruno, obviously, as always, you just give your side of that. I think that many people believe that spark just naturally fades in the relationships. Like magic simply has an expiration date. But do you really think that this is true? Because maybe it's something that we stop doing the things that created that magic in the first place. So today we want to cover more about the early effort when the relationship is just started, right? Versus later it becomes autopilot. And a lot of times we forget to do what we were doing when we initially start in the relationship. So we want to be more mindful because when we talk about the beginning of the relationship, people naturally invest the energy. They text during the day, they compliment each other, they plan little surprises, they listen carefully, and they ask questions. During that time, the curiosity is high and attention is present. But as life becomes busy, there is work, there are responsibilities, there are stress, those small behaviors slowly start to fade. It doesn't happen because the love disappears, but it happens more that the relationship starts running on the autopilot. If we take, for instance, the garden, the flowers don't suddenly stop growing because they lost their magic. They stop blooming because the watering stopped and the sunlight disappeared and the care became inconsistent. So the same is true for relationships. Magic is not something mysterious, it's often the result of consistent attention. Bruno, what do you think? What do you think about it?
Well, I think that, in the beginning when people get to know each other and stuff, it's all very exciting, right? For men because, they have a lot of sexual desire, and for women as well because they have somebody who pays a lot of attention to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously, ultimately men thrive on respect and women thrive on attention, I think. From the men's perception,
Mm-hmm.
from my side, you know, from my side mainly, I guess it's very easy for me to like to get bored actually. Like it's very easy for me to get bored because you do the same thing a couple times and it loses its magic because it just does. Like because you're always doing the same thing. And so it's a really tough thing to really explain, I guess, especially because we live in a day and age where you know you wanna worry where you click your fingers, you have one, like when you wanna hook up with some girl or with some guy, you click your fingers, you want, you have it as well, right? Sometimes, of course, sometimes. So to actually build something that lasts, to actually value something that lasts, to actually have the patience and the consistency and the discipline to keep up with something that lasts is something that not a lot of people can do. Um, and it's actually quite a bit of a tough subject as well. But to be honest, I mean, from my side, what comes for me is um, I don't know. I feel like I couldn't love the same person the same for the rest of my life because I don't love them more than I love myself. Front, that's it. I couldn't love the same way forever and ever and ever the same person because I don't love them more the way that I love myself. I don't live for them more than I live for myself. You know, I don't work on them more than I work on myself. Right, and this is why I couldn't love the same way the same person forever. I just couldn't. It's just not possible. I feel like for
Well,
me, love changes. I think for me, the way I love a person, the way I like or love a person, changes with the seasons. I think there will be certain seasons where I will love the same person for different reasons, and I will value the person for different reasons as well, which is exactly what makes me stay with the person, right? Maybe in a season it's their patience, maybe in another season it's how loving they are, maybe in another season it's how consistent they are, maybe in another season it's just how persistent they are to achieve what they want and what they desire, and maybe in another season other seasons are whatever they are, right? But no, I don't love people more than I love myself. There's just no fucking way that's ever gonna happen. This is why I couldn't love people the same way anyways forever and ever and ever. But
all right.
if I had kids, I could definitely love them more than I love myself for the rest of my life, of course, because they're my kids and I would live for them. So
All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the shift from attraction to intention because, again, this is important because a lot of people look at love as this is something that they always have to feel butterflies, that there is something that they also have to be excited. And again, there is nobody else to wait for to give it but ourselves. And also to choose that because there are two people who participate in that consciously. It's not that one person has to do all the labor and another person is just sitting and laying back and just saying, okay, this is working for me or it's not working for me. So it takes two to tango. I always love to say that. And attraction is powerful, but it's only the beginning of a relationship because early attraction creates excitement and chemistry. People want to spend time together, they are curious about each other, and everything feels new and electric. But long term connection requires something deeper, and this is the intention. Intention means choosing to continue investing in the relationship even when life becomes routine. That means showing up with awareness rather than assuming that the relationship will maintain itself. For instance, attraction might make someone want to go on spontaneous dates at the beginning, but intention means that you are still making space for those moments months or years later. Attraction creates the spark, but intention keeps the fire burning. So the couples who maintain strong relationships usually understand this shift. They move from this feels exciting to this matters to me. So I will keep nurturing it. Bruno, what's your point on that?
same thing. I mean, again, I think that I think like in love, if you want to like again, I think that I think it takes like a lot of wisdom, and it takes like a lot of dedication to keep the emotion that you're feeling alive. Again, do not expect the same emotion that you feel in the first couple of weeks or first couple of months to last for 20, 50 years. If you're even able to get married for that long, which 99% of people are just not anyways. Um, and I mean, yeah, pretty much, pretty much. I mean, I guess that yeah, it's like I feel like it's day by day. I think there's just like different things that they need to be done. Different things that need to be done. Different things that need to be worked on. And then again, it's like you're managing a relationship, right? So it's just as the same thing as it's not the same thing exactly as managing yourself, but in the relationship, the most important thing is you managing yourself towards the relationship because you cannot manage other people; they can only manage themselves. The moment you're the only person managing yourself and the other person is not managing themselves, you're kind of working for it. You're on your own. The person doesn't really bother anymore, and it's pretty much over anyway. So it needs to be again a work of two for it to work, right? Because then again, it's a
Mhm.
relationship. Um, so yeah, I mean, what keeps the magic alive? Ultimately, the perfect answer. I feel like the perfect answer, the most catchy answer, the most catchy, perfect, highlight reel answer. Oh my God, so beautiful, so pretty, whatever is what keeps the magic alive is doing the same things that ignited that magic when you once met, I guess, right? But the real answer, the honest answer, is I feel like one day that magic is still not going to be enough. Whatever is holding you two together is still not going to be enough. And I think in that moment, people have a choice, which is let's find something new or let's just call it quits, pretty much. And so in that moment, there needs to be like a lot of reflection, I think, between both people. And I think there needs to be a lot of reflection between, what they want and what they desire. And if it makes sense for them to continue being together. Is it work that keeps you both together, or is it genuine love for each other? Or is it both, right? Is that love that you have for each other, is it like worth to continue working on? Or is it something more from the past that maybe you guys just feel like, you need to just get away, right? Is this something that obviously before they had a future, does this is actually able to continue to have a future or not, right? Because I guess at a certain point, every single relationship gets to it, and in
Mhm.
marriages, more and more nowadays are getting to that point, and people are already married. So it's then again it's one of those things, isn't it? But I think going into a relationship thinking it's always going to be magic and it's always going to be amazing and it's always going to be wonderful and amazing. Yeah, probably in the first 6 months, probably in the first years. Yeah, sure. But people change. People want to learn new things. People want to do new things. People want to try new things. People want to have new experiences, right? And you either adapt with the eras, with the generations. You either adapt with time, with the times, I guess, right? Or you get left behind and don't feel too special because that person will leave you and just find somebody else, or you'll leave that person and you'll find somebody else yourself too. So again, what keeps the magic alive? Like I said, highlight real answer is what keeps the magic alive is the magic it once was ignited when you guys met. Just go do the things that made you fall in love with each other. Okay, fine, fantastic, but that doesn't always work, right? Because It may either feel right or it may not feel right. And you can try and do that and still feel like you're lying to each other. And if you do that and you still feel like you're lying to each other, it's a no go. It's a pass. It's like, it's time to move on. Right? So, again, like, take it as it is. Um, there's several ways to keep the magic alive. Again, if keeping the magic alive works by reigniting the magic that once brought you together and made you fall in love with each other more and more, if that still works, great. I mean, just do that. Pretty much just do that. Just keep doing that. Just keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that until it stops feeling exciting. And if that stops feeling exciting, there's other things to do. So there's certainly something better for you to do, right? If you do that and you do other things and you still feel like you're lying to yourself, it's for a reason. It's because you both need to basically pass and just find someone else. And that's it. To me, I think that's the most honest real answer. Not to highlight real bullshit.
Okay, can we continue? I have a couple of more points before we finish.
Yeah,
So I
go ahead.
want to talk more
Absolutely.
about how small daily moments keep the spark alive. Because many people think maintaining a relationship requires big romantic gestures. But in reality, the magic often lives in the smallest daily moments. It could be just a quick text saying, thinking of you, or a genuine compliment, or a moment of eye contact when someone walks in the room. It could be a hug that lasts a few seconds or longer. So these are the moments, they may seem small, but they communicate something powerful. That means that that person matters to them. And when these small moments disappear, the relationship can slowly start to feel more like two people just sharing the space rather than two people sharing the connection. So think about it like if the
Mhm.
couple who seems naturally happy together. Often it's not because they're constantly doing grand things, but because they maintain those small signals of affection and the attention. So these little moments, repeated consistently, will create emotional safety and more closer with each other. And I just wanted to point out because one of the episodes we had the conversation on appreciation. So we want to be mindful that one of the most powerful forces in any relationship is appreciation. When people feel seen and appreciated for their efforts, they naturally want to give more because appreciation just shows the positive behavior and it strengthens that emotional connection. For instance, imagine someone cooking the dinner. That person is helping, right? Or planning something thoughtful. When the effort is appreciated, when it's acknowledged, even as simple as saying, I really appreciate that you did this, the person feels valued. But when the effort goes unnoticed or is immediately criticized, something different happens. The motivation begins to vanish. People start thinking, why would I bother if it's not noticeable? And that appreciation starts acting like fuel for our connection. It encourages people to keep showing care, to be more creative and initiative in the relationship. Because like you mentioned that, like doing the same things, nobody's talking about doing the same things. That's the whole beauty of life, because people have to be more creative and it takes again two people. I don't believe that only one partner in the relationship has to always come up with different things. It takes two, right? Okay, let's go and take a cooking class together. Let's travel together. Let's like create something together, right? Again, it's just the creativity factor because we all can do something, right? And again, sometimes people get busy with the families, especially when they have small kids. It's not too much time to have the attention for each other, but it's always there through the small gestures. Again, there is a difference between if somebody is willing or somebody just chooses not to do that. There is a big difference in that. So the real question comes to, are we maintaining what we value? And at the heart of this conversation lies an important question. If this is true, because if the relationship matters, even sometimes not everything shows up perfectly, we know that we are maintaining anything in our life. If we are talking about our health, we have to maintain it. We have to maintain our finances. We have to maintain our homes. So why do we schedule time for all these activities, but we are not scheduled the time for the relationships? Because relationships are not different than anything else. The relationships thrive when we receive the intentional care. And maintaining that magic does not mean being perfect or constantly doing something dramatic. It just means be present, stay curious about each other, and continue to nurture that connection over time. Because love is not something that happens to us. Very often, love is something we choose to maintain. Bruno, would you like to wrap us up?
Uh, yeah, I mean, again, like, I think theory is very pretty and all that kind of stuff, and so beautiful quotes and beautiful sayings. But I think at the end of the day, it's much more like I think like I think at the end of the day, it's again, yeah, sure, there are things to fix. There are things to change. There are things to do. There are things to talk about. In relationships, that's what it is, right? That's how it works. You gotta be patient. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be whatever. But the thing is that, like, fixing a relationship or trying to make things right, it's not like fixing a fucking business, right? If you truly want to fix something in business, I believe that if you truly want to make something work in business, I'm a big believer that you can. I'm a big believer because there's so many stories nowadays of so many people who were at the brink of financial bankruptcy, or they were in their last pennies, whatever it is, and they wanted it so bad that they found a way to make it work, right? People like being like millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, they still managed to clear all that debt plus make all that money, whatever. You got my point, right? But in relationships, I don't think it's like that. In relationships, I think that if you are not feeling it anymore, then you need to call it quits. Like, you need to, like, because you're not feeling it anymore. And this is more than an emotion. This is more than, oh, I don't love you today, but tomorrow I will. No, no, no. This is more than that. This is when you truly need a break from it. Like, you don't want to take a break from your life with that person. You want to take a break from your life from the person, from everything. Like, you literally just want to be on your own. And when you are on your own, you don't feel one single fucking bit of of um of sadness, or one single bit of like frustration, or one single bit of missing the person, right? You don't feel any sadness or frustration because you're away from the person, and you don't feel any feeling of missing the person as well, right? When that is what it is, so you might as well fucking call it quits, because what's the fucking point? Like, and a relationship is not a business. It's just what it is, right? Managing a business is not the same thing, obviously, as managing a relationship. But in a relationship, if it's not working, it's not working, and that's just what it is. Try to keep the magic alive as much as you can, but at some point, everybody has a breaking point, right? I
All right. It's
myself, like,
it's
more I
more your
go,
subjective opinion. I
like,
should say that I do not agree with that. But again, it's just like we are expressing our own
that's your
like
opinion,
opinions. But it
right?
doesn't mean that it's going to relate to everybody who is listening. So again, yes,
Of course,
relationship is
of course
more
not. Obviously not,
complex
but
than I agree
I
with you,
didn't say that.
Bruno.
I didn't say that it relates to everybody. I didn't say that it
Yep.
relates to everyone. What I did say is that, I didn't say it relates to everyone. What I did say is that, a lot of people sometimes they treat a relationship like a business, but it's not one, right? It's different because I believe that in business, you can always find a way to fix stuff. Obviously, certain things require a lot of preparation, but sometimes you gotta get lucky to win that game, right? To win the business game as well, which what it is. But the more prepared you are, the better you'll do, the better you'll be, the bigger you'll be lucky, the more lucky you'll be. But in the relationship, it's not like that, right? In the relationship, you can try and try and try and try and try and still not feel it, and there's just no point. So, yeah, pretty much. Um, and yeah, so yeah, we should definitely wrap it up. Um, just yeah, wrap it
All
up,
right.
and
So for everyone who is tuning into this episode, we would love to know where you are standing with the magic and what magic means for you. Because again, if there is a problem, there is always a solution. And if only we have the desire to do that, there is always a way to improve something in life. That's exactly what we are living. That's exactly why we are evolving and growing in this lifetime. And if you like that episode or you think somebody might benefit from listening to this conversation, please share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you on the next episode next week. Goodbye.